Trump assassination. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. I've been waiting to talk about this. I've been waiting to talk about the Trump assassination. I wanted to wait some time to make sure that, a lot more information came out. There was more resources to pull from, more videos to watch. And there's a lot of stuff out there to go ahead and look at when it comes to this Trump attempted assassination, right? So let's check it out. Okay.
And that's a little bit old. We're
about to play the video. Here we go. One second.
That chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
So they get up there pretty quick, right? That's who they get up there quick. He's still shooting. I heard another shot.
Move his spear. Hold. When you're ready. On you. Ready. Move. Up. Move. Go. Up. Hawkeye's here. Hawkeye's here. Move it to the spear. Spear, get ready. Spear, get ready. We ready? Are we good? Shooters down. Are we good to move? We're clear. We're clear. We're clear.
Here we go.
Come on.
Let me get my shoes.
I got you, sir.
Let me get my shoes.
Hold that in your head. It's bloody.
So we got to move to the bus. Let me get my shoes.
Okay, my shoes down.
Watch out.
Wait.
All right. Let's see. If, in my opinion, that was the worst thing that could have happened to the Democrats. I'm gonna get on that first before I even touch on the assassination or the attempted assassination. Trump, or whoever attempted, to assassinate Trump, that was the worst thing possible that could have happened for the Dems. After that debate with Joe Biden versus Donald Trump, I think a lot of Democrats started to feel that Joe Biden was not a good candidate and a good future president for the next term. I think a lot of people lost faith. You saw that in the polls after the debate. It was, I believe, 67% for Trump and about 30-something% for Biden. So even the Democrats who have been desperately trying to keep Biden afloat after that debate, it was like, damn, what can we really do, right? He looked back. There is no excuses. There is nothing that he can do, I think, that will bring the faith back to a lot of the Democrats. At this point, if people are voting for Biden, it's simply just because they do not like Trump. Because he's obviously cognitive-wise, he's not able to go ahead and really be all the way there. I think physical-wise, we've seen him fall down the stairs and be tripped up multiple times. So that alone was already getting people off of Biden. I think this was the icing on the cake because you have a lot of conspiracy theorists who are then going to go and say they probably think Biden is the reason why this happened. People are saying Trump staged it, etc. So I just think this is one of the worst things that could happen for the Dems because Donald Trump is going to take this and run with it. I mean, he survived. You understand the type of speeches that he's going to give at rallies after this and how many more people are going to have faith in him. I'm a Gen Zer. So this is the first time in the history of me being alive that I've seen somebody or an attempted assassination. I've never seen that before. And so this is history in the making. What I want to say about it being staged, too, before I really break down a lot of other things is, for the people who think this is staged, I don't understand why you would think it was staged. In my opinion, I think the shooter and I think the attempted assassination is real. However, the way that guy got up there, how he got up there, who got him up there is what I'm skeptical about. This is a 20-year-old man, right, who was supposedly bullied in school. That's what they said. So when you look at if he was bullied in school, there's multiple videos actually showing that bro was not really bullied in school. He seemed like a nerd, right? But is he really a nerd? A lot of nerds, and this is the thing, nerds get a bad rap, right? I'm gonna tell y'all, nerds get a bad rap because there'd be a lot of nerds that's hella confident. They just nerdy. So in they bubble, they the man, they the shit. But you might think they're a nerd, but if you go and talk to him, he might be confident. That's the kind of vibe that bro gave me personally. I'm gonna try to find some videos of him real quick. Oh, here we go.
He's going down!
Trying to see. Hold on, this ain't gonna be a good video.
Is that just a go-to phrase that people use?
Trying to think of bro's name. Thomas Matthew. Okay, there we go. Right here, Thomas Matthew Crooks. We're gonna find some videos from bro.
Thomas Crooks was a high school.
How he was, like, he would sit by himself.
You know.
There we go. And by the way, this is what they do. This is why it's not staged. Before I play the video of Thomas Crooks, let me tell you why it's not staged. For one, this is America. Democrats and Republicans, that's the two biggest gangs. That's the biggest Bloods and the biggest Crips in the world. Let's put it like that, right? So the same way Bloods and Crips can go hype up kids to go on these kamikaze missions, on these joy rides, on these suicide missions, the Democrats and the Republicans can do the same thing. And the Democrats and the Republicans can actually do it much more and much better because they have the media on their side. They have promotion on their side. They have manipulation. They have brainwashing on their side. So they're able to implement images and sounds that stick into your subconscious. Some of us get radicalized by the things we see in the media. Some of us don't. Me being a strong-minded person, I don't get radicalized where I'm going to go in there and take it out on that said person that the media is trying to make, dark of at that point in time. Because as you know, the media is, they're on to one thing here and then they're on to the next. So I want for people to understand that the Democrats and the Republicans are the two biggest gangs in America. And they're easily able to influence others, people like Thomas Crooks or Thomas Matthew Crooks, to go out and take somebody's life. And they don't have to do it by saying, hey, we want you to do it. They just, like I said, they post it on the news over and over again. They have political figures come out and say Trump is wrong or Biden is wrong or these people should be this and that and they're killing America, etc. And this is how they implement it into your mind that this person is bad. And they feed you this shit over and over and over and over again. Okay? We can go back to Unabomber. We can go back to Charles Manson. All these people that are supposedly bad, right, that have committed mass acts of terrorism have been in touch with no other than the CIA, the FBI. At some point in their lives, they were watched, they were contacted, they were followed. The FBI, CIA knew about these people, and they continued to let them do what they did. It was the same thing with 9/11. 9/11 had multiple, America had multiple messages from the UK and other places saying that there was an attack on the way, and we ignored it. So why I'm saying that is because we know everything that comes in and out of this country. We have satellites that can, tell us when a meteor is getting close to America. So what makes you think that if this guy was radicalized and was on a mission to get Trump, by the way, people who are radicalized, school shooters, bombers, they always leave manifestos and a lot of things behind on social media. And most of the times, those things are being watched and looked over by the FBI and the CIA. So you're not going to sit up here and tell me that they didn't already know about this guy. If he was even doing this before. You're not going to sit up here and tell me they didn't already know about him. You're not going to sit up here and tell me that they didn't already contact him or have contacted him. Because just like I said, with 9/11, with the Unabomber, with Charles Manson, they had contact with all of these people. Okay, Charles Manson, that's a big MK Ultra. We can go all day on that and how the government took him really as some sort of what do you call it, like tool to go ahead and say, hey, these drugs are bad. When it came to Charles Manson, they wanted to administer LSD and see what it would do to the people. That was the whole point of that. That's what that was. With the Unabomber, they had contacted him because they wanted to know how does this guy live off the grid. He's smart, all these different things. They wanted to know about these people, and they know about them. But they either do something about it or not. They either chip them or they use them for something down the line. And that's what I believe they did with Thomas Crooks. They for sure who this dude was. There's no way. Any person that's been radicalized by the media literally creates a manifesto. They go online. They do a whole bunch of shit that's going to let you know, if you follow them, they about to do something crazy. And 9 out of 10, the FBI or the CIA has that. And they can see that. They see everything. So they knew. They knew that was coming. Let's look at this.
Thomas Crooks was a high school student when he appeared in an ad for an investment company. We found this video on his high school Facebook page explaining computer coding to another student.
The signal is decreasing.
Crooks's high school years were troubled. He was rejected by the school rifle team. Crooks's aim was comically bad, according to one report.
Here we go. So look. They already started the narrative, right? When you watch the videos that's on Twitter of him in class, he's talking about he got a 10-inch penis. He's 6'4". He seemed like, and pause on that, but he seemed like he was just a funny, nerdy dude. They were obviously on their own part of the table or whatever the case is, and they seemed quiet. But if you were cool enough or whatever to get up on him and talk to him, he seemed like he'd probably give you a conversation. So this is what they do. They're taking the narrative that is a true narrative of these white kids that get radicalized that want to go do something crazy, right? And that's what they're doing here. They're trying to paint the narrative that this guy was bullied in school. And remind you, bro graduated in what, 2019 or some shit like that? 2020 he graduated. So 2020 is 4 years ago. So you can't sit up here, and this is why I don't understand the narrative they're trying to paint when it comes to him being bullied. Bro graduated in 2020. It's 2024, halfway through. That's 5 years ago. Y'all trying to tell me he's still thinking about being bullied and somehow that led to him going and trying to take this man's life? That's cap. That's cap. But the majority is going to believe it. They're going to believe the narrative that the media puts right in front of them. Let's watch the narrative.
He was in the same homeroom as me.
Former classmate Sarah D'Angelo says Crooks studied the assassination of President Kennedy in honors American history class.
You kind of had to make your own conspiracy theory about where the shooter was. And, like.
Okay. First thing I want to say, too, is you see the type of shit they ran up? We had to make up our own conspiracy. So this is what I'm saying. If you just pay attention to the narrative they're trying to paint, it's easy to poke holes. So this was an assignment at school. This wasn't something he just came up with out of nowhere and just said, oh, shit, let me just figure out a different conspiracy or a different take on the conspiracy of how JFK was unalive. No, this is something that they told him to do in class. You get what I'm saying? So therefore he had to study it. Therefore he had to turn it in to get the grade. So let's continue to watch the narrative.
How you thought it was done.
He was also bullied at school and sat by himself, friendless, in the cafeteria at lunch.
Based on the way he dressed, I mean, you know how kids are nowadays. If you don't fit in with the clique, they're going to come after you.
That's cap. That's so cap. Niggas are so soft today, bro. If these niggas lived back in the day, come on now. Let's stop the cap. The lunch table was shit. Anything goes, gloves off. These kids in 2024 or 2020, whatever, they're nowhere near as hard as we was. And shit, the people before us, we not nowhere as near as hard as they was and had as much of a thick skin as they did. So I've seen kids today. While they're mean, a lot of kids today won't do the bullying. A lot of kids don't do that type of stuff because there's so many examples of people going on unalive themselves. And also today, it's too many participation awards and things like that people, get for doing nothing. So you're not going to tell me that a generation that gets awards for doing nothing, people get awards for showing up to school. People getting pats on the back for showing up to school. You're not going to tell me that that generation is meaner than the generation before. It's just impossible.
And that's kind of like how he was. Like he would sit by himself, play games on his computer.
This video shows Crooks goofing around with other students. Kohler says Crooks wore an anti-COVID.
You see? See that's the video that I wanted to show on Twitter if I could find it, because that video right there, amongst a couple of others, they didn't show it all. They didn't show it all either. I'm gonna rewind a little bit because it shows that bro is really not getting bullied. He's giggling. He's really giggling. I'm gonna show y'all that.
This video shows Crooks goofing around.
He's smiling.
With other students.
He's not getting bullied. That's cap. I can already tell you that's part of the narrative. But hold on, let's keep it going. My bad. I'm pausing and pausing. But I'm just trying to get y'all to understand how the media takes these narratives and runs with them. Like I said, this is an easy narrative to run with because it's so damn true. How many white boys we done seen do some crazy shit like this, because they got radicalized. So
Kohler says Crooks wore an anti-COVID mask long after they were required.
Thomas Crooks.
This is Crooks' 2022 high school graduation. He graduated community college in May with an associate's degree.
Again, he wore an anti-COVID mask. That doesn't mean you're a school shooter, bro. How many motherfucking right-wing crazy motherfuckers go and are still talking about F COVID this, F COVID? Come on now. You get what I'm saying? All of these things, and remind you, the things that they're bringing up are things that the left has deemed as negative. So they already know, and the left, what they do is they play on the fact that most of you are willfully ignorant. Most of you have already, accepted what your authoritative source of news is, and you're going to believe whatever the fuck they say without giving or doing your due diligence and your research. So the left, the media already knows that. So what they're going to do now is take the school shooter narrative. That's one, because that's a narrative that the left is pushing to try to ban guns. They don't take the other narrative of he's an anti-vaxxer because people know now, or people feel like, or the left has made it seem like those people are crazy and they don't know what they're doing, right? So they took those two narratives already. First narrative is he's an anti-vaxxer, so he must be crazy. Second narrative is he was bullied, right? Let's keep it going.
Degree in engineering science. He found work as a dietary aide at a nursing home after passing a background check. You could see behind me this cop car and this crime scene tape, which is blocked off the neighborhood where the shooter lived with his family. Neighbors tell us the family kept to themselves.
All I have heard is that they were a very reclusive family and they didn't really talk to people. So people that live around him don't really, around them.
See,
don't.
this type of shit that I'm talking about. Who the fuck talk to their neighbors like that today? Y'all tell me. I don't be talking to my neighbors like that. What's up? This the fuck? You're supposed to have full-on conversations? Like they're trying to use these little things that I said to make him seem like a weirdo, to make him seem like he was already on that route to do this when he wasn't. He's in a BlackRock commercial. Oh, whatever. Cool. They're trying to make it seem like this guy got the idea into his head. He woke up and he just did that. That's not possible, bro. Look at the Columbine shooting. Look at Virginia Tech. Look at other types of mass acts of terrorism. It wasn't like this, bro. Niggas came right into the school and went crazy. Niggas didn't get access to a building during a full-on presidential rally that is months before surveilled. Months before, they will go to wherever they're going, in Philadelphia or wherever they're going, they'll go and they'll scope out every single point that could be a weak spot where the president might be able to be hit. So the only way he would have been able to get up there is if he knew somebody from the inside. That's it. This narrative that this kid just woke up and or whatever the case was and decided I'm going to go try to off Trump is cap. Now, I personally have to do more research on who I feel like it is. I have a couple of people that I feel like it is. I'm not going to put that out there yet because I don't have enough to like really back it up. But one thing I can tell you is this shit is fishy. You got to be out of your mind to think that this 20-something-year-old kid was able to get up there by himself. There was CIA, there was Secret Service, police departments. There was police within the building that he was on top of. The Secret Service has seen him. 2 to 3 minutes before he shot the shot. I don't know if they couldn't open fire first. I don't know if that's what it was or whatever, but it just screams fishy to me. How did he get up here?
Really know them.
The motive for firing at Trump remains a mystery. Crooks was a registered Republican, but donated $15 to a progressive group. When 20-year-old Crooks was taken down by a Secret Service sniper, he wore a t-shirt from Demolition Ranch, a YouTube channel that features firearms. The FBI are now scouring Crooks' phone for clues to a motive. This is his voicemail message.
Hello, this is Thomas Crooks.
Is not available.
The search for insights into the mind of the would-be assassin is just beginning.
AKA, we are coming up with a story as we go. AKA, that's what that means. Even when it happened, the news came out and said possible gunshots, loud noises, shit like that. It was an attempted assassination. They tried to push this under the rug. You know what I mean? The thing that I find crazy, one of the things I find crazy is that if Biden would have been up there on that stage, and there would have been an assassination attempt on Biden, do you know how many liberals and Democrats would have came out and said, this is, hold on, Ricardo. I'm live, Ricardo. I'm live on Instagram and YouTube. Here, I could send you the link if you want it. What was I saying? But I'll send you the link right now. Let me do that for you. Hold on. All right, here we go. Okay. I just sent it to you. See where I'm at. I think this guy. I think that this guy just. It's just crazy, man. I don't see how Trump, or that's what my point was. My bad. If Biden would have been up there, oh, he's gonna go live on TikTok at 7. Oh yeah, I got you. I'll be on there. If Biden was to be, an attempt was to be, put on Biden's life, so many Democrats would have came out and blamed Trump, in my opinion. I think a lot of people would have came out and blamed Trump. They would have blamed the Proud Boys. They would have blamed a lot of, white people in America. It would have been a lot of blame placed on Trump and his followers. Trump gets an assassination attempt on him, and you don't really hear that. You know what I mean? And so I find that crazy because when we talk about rhetoric and how it's harmful and how it can be, something that leads people to be radicalized and make these decisions, why aren't we talking about the negative rhetoric that Democrats have for Republicans? Let's just keep it a buck. Again, I don't support Biden. I don't support Trump. I'm an unbiased party. But I just hate how we don't look at the other side of things. And the media is so to the left that it's hard to get some of this other shit out. And so do people realize that? That if Biden was to be assassinated or this attempt was on Biden, people would have been F Trump and Trump is, this is all Trump's fault. But we have numerous videos of Biden, Kamala, multiple people in the Democratic office saying, Trump is a cancer. Trump needs to be out of here. We need to get rid of Trump. The list goes on and on and on, right? Again, I don't think he's the best president ever. I don't really fuck with bro. But I see how that can be harmful. The same way it could be harmful to Biden. The same way it was harmful to Obama, so much so that he had bulletproof screens around him every time he, did a speech. So I find it interesting that there's silence on that end, and nobody's bringing it to light that it's possible that there was some rhetoric that came into play. But as for the narrative of bro just getting up there and doing it by himself, it's impossible. It's impossible. The shot that he had too, right? And I'm gonna tell you why this was somebody who wasn't really trained, and they just picked him up and used him because the shot that he had was a clear shot. He could have whacked him, but in my opinion, Bro was nervous up there. There was so much going on. And I think you can only plan for so much. If you're not a trained assassin, how are you going to be able to get up there? Yeah, you might be able to go up there and do a mock trial, mock run 4, 5, 6, 7 times. But when you get up there and you see thousands of people, you see people in black glasses and black suits looking around, you see snipers on the other side of the roof, you see police walking up and down, that's going to alter your emotions and your decision making. And I think that's what that did. Now, and so that's why I think even more he was picked for this. This wasn't something that he just came up out of nowhere. You know, I brought up the other thing because they said, oh, he left his ID on him and all this stuff. That same thing happened 9/11. There was a crash in another building. On that specific crash site, they were able to find, I believe, 5 to 7 IDs of people. Right? And say these were the people that somewhat took part in the crashing of those planes. That was complete cap. How does everything disintegrate but the IDs? So this is the kind of things that people will do, or these type of organizations will do to paint the narrative. They left his ID. They already got people coming out saying he's a school shooter. He was anti-vax. He was bullied. All these things. In 2 to 3 more days, the narrative is going to be so strong within y'all mind that y'all are going to actually believe this shit. Y'all are going to believe that this dude did this alone. And you know what? I think for a lot of people, it's easier to believe that he did it alone than that the government or whoever it is colluding with other people to get people out of here. Like, I think people need to start looking at movies more. As much as we say movies are fake, they're real. Art imitates life. A lot of the things that go on those movies, they're so well detailed because they had to go get that information from somewhere. Put it like this. People say, oh, the world is a stage. This was staged. I believe that when the world is staged, the world is a stage. I believe that people take that term and use it in the wrong way and think of it the wrong way. The world is a stage to us, not to them. Now, on that stage, there are pawns that are in that game that might not have an idea of that game at that moment. But be very clear. Anybody on that stage is aware that it's a stage. For us, not for them, because they know what's going on. They know what's happening, and they know, or at least they have an intention on when something happens, what they wanted and how they wanted to affect the culture and how they wanted to affect America. That's what this was. That's what this was. So why I'm saying that is because people think Trump has some part and he put a ketchup packet on his ear, he did whatever. Nah, man. By the grace of God, because there's a video, and I'm having trouble pulling it up, that shows how close it really was to him. He was looking at a screen of, I believe, a graph of immigration since Biden was in office or something like that. And that's the only reason why I missed him. Well, how could that happen? Bro, when there's all these different variables, just like I said, in a math equation, this is not algebra. It's not x, y equals mx plus b. That's not what this is. This is a whole bunch of things that you cannot account for. There's moving parts that you cannot account for. He didn't know that Trump would be turned this way. Maybe he took a little bit longer than he was supposed to make the shot. This is real life. Y'all gotta understand, the last president that talked about getting rid of the FBI, that talked about getting rid of the CIA, that talked about getting rid of the Federal Reserve, they got knocked off. JFK, he got knocked off. That was the last president that did that. So I'm not comparing those two by any means. But I'm just trying to get you guys to see the similarities. The last person who talked about getting rid of those, organizations got knocked off. And the reason why is because those organizations run the world. Federal Reserve runs the world. FBI, they run the world. J. Edgar Hoover, there was a point when they didn't have our fingerprints. They wasn't tapping phones. He's the one who put all of those things into effect to surveil the American people. The CIA, the same thing. And we're paying hard-earned tax dollars to these organizations that are then spying on us. And not only that, colluding with other organizations outside of them, because there's a whole bunch of Department of Defense or defense contractors that work outside of the government. I don't think people understand that as well. There's so many defense contractors that have nothing to do with the government that are separate from them. That means that they're able to act out on their own rules. People come to them and say, hey, I need security. People come to them and say, hey, I need a job done. When it comes to the CIA actually is able to take people to other countries. That's how bin Laden was killed. The CIA has a certain law where they make it okay for you to pretty much do whatever you want in another country. So Exactly. And that's my point. He said he's going to give those states back to Mexico. Like, so I'm just trying to get people to see the similarity in what's going on. Do I really fuck with Trump? No, I don't. I don't think that. I think his rhetoric is bad. I mean, I don't think that he was this great president that changed the economy and all this other stuff. I think he was not a good president, right? The same as Biden's not a good president. But I don't think that he should be assassinated. I don't think he should have his life taken. And I think that this attempt, I mean, it made him a martyr, right? Like, in my opinion, it made him a martyr more than anything. I think now people are going to agree with him. And unfortunately, Black people are the ones who are really, really, really going to fuck with Trump even more, unfortunately. Because he went to jail, he beat the case, by the way. Bro got shot, still standing. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, these are some of the things, unfortunately, that Black people, I feel like, relate to. And I think that that's going to immortalize him to a certain degree. Now, if he does win, which in my opinion, I think he got it in the bag, because I just don't think Biden is going to be a good fit, and I think people have lost faith in him. I think he's got it in the bag. I think when he does win, we'll see what happens. It could be a lot of crazy shit that goes on. I don't know, but one thing I do know is this was cap. This was not just him by himself. I'm gonna try to pull up that video. Let me pull up the video to show y'all real quick. Trump shooter misses. Let me see if I can find it like that. It's on Twitter. I know it's on Twitter for a fact. It's gonna be hard to find. Scientists show Trump bullet missing. Let's see. Damn, it's not gonna have it. It's one of the craziest videos I've ever seen. I'm not gonna lie, because it shows how close he really was. It's all good though, y'all. I think keep your eyes open. Understand that things like this are planned. They're never. This is never just some random shit. Some 20-year-old dude who somehow gets on a roof at a Republican or a Trump rally. It's not. It's highly impossible. The only way is that if somebody he knows somewhere in there was in on it. That is the only way, man. That's it. That's all I got to say about Trump and that assassination. I'm going to keep reporting on it because I know that more things will come out on it. And, more information will come out. And I know that there's going to be some people who come out and kind of show more and poke more holes in the narrative. So I'm ready to see that. I know you guys are. And yeah, let's move on to the next.